I went to treatment. I went to treatment center, and it was an intensive outpatient treatment where I was in for approximately a year. So I started off pretty full time and then screwed down. But I went to AA, started working the program. Unfortunately, I was 23 and in AA at that time. I was sitting in these rooms with, there were two doctors that were, not to be disrespected, but all I never felt it was like there wasn't anything that was really relatable to me. But I just knew without a doubt that any time that I put alcohol into my body, it was like playing Russian roulette. Either I'm going to die, somebody else is going to die, I'm going to have sex with somebody, who knows what's going to happen. Like, I just knew, I really came to that bottom of where I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I honestly, I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen the next time I drank. So, when I got into treatment, it actually gave me something to work with. And as they say, it's an easy program, you just got to change everything. And it was. It was like really having to lay it all down. Like, I can't be with these friends. I can't be around these people. And I honestly felt like it was taking a 1,000-piece cover box, throwing it on the floor without any picture to look at. But honestly, that let God rebuild piece by piece and put me together and who He actually created me to be. And I think that's where adoption, where your identity comes in, because you don't know who you were born to be. You don't have any generational families to look at. And maybe when I did find my biological family, maybe that was a good thing, because in my Native American family, there's a lot of alcoholism, there's a lot of addiction, there's a lot of abuse that maybe He showed me and set me apart so I could actually, even though I created that in myself, on my own, at least I was able to move beyond that into something else. And when I did make my biological family, I had some, like, sobriety with me, and so they've always known me as being sober. And it's hard when you've chosen to live the life where you're set apart, when you're not living like the world lives. And I honestly was rejected by my Native American family. And I think because of choosing to live life different. There's a lot of them that are still struggling with alcohol. But I know, actually, I have some cousins that have actually come to know the Lord, that have come to step into the sobriety path. And even though you think your life isn't being noticed, like people are noticing. And I'm so thankful that my little cousins here in their early 20s are choosing sobriety and choosing to allow God to work in them like He did in me. Honestly, I wouldn't be here where I am today. And honestly, what God has revealed to me is like He's created us. And I feel even as First Nation people, like we were the first people to be here, right? He's created us strong. He's created us as warrior women. But, society comes along, and men come along, and our families come along, and everybody tries to tear us down and strip us down. But God says, no, I'm going to rebuild you into my image, into my image. I mean, He's the God that holds the universe in His hand, and He holds my life in His hand, and your life in His hand. There's nothing that He can't do. And I got into sobriety, and not like life became sunshine and rainbow. I married a guy that we met when we were teenagers, and I thought, this is the one for me. I had 5 years sobriety. Okay, I'm old now. I can get married. And it worked great for almost 10 years, and I had 2 beautiful daughters, and with toe surgery, got addicted to Oxycontin, and turned from a loving husband father into drug addict. Literally, the SWAT team showed up at our house. He brought the quadriplegic man, got kicked out of our apartment. And then, so my daughters were, trying to navigate them through having their dad turn into a drug addict and abandoned them that way. And then, ironically, she was riding a bike doing a drug deal and hit by a driver under the influence of marijuana and was killed. And so then, we're trying to navigate all of this with, honestly, if I didn't have that foundation of God, I would have been like my daughters were looking at me, like, you're the only one that, you've got to hold it together. And honestly, it was the grace of God, one day at a time. Like, He brought in so many resources, so many people. I mean, we literally had nothing. Literally, we were looking for our cars, trying to find money to get tacos, because he was stopped supporting us. And as we got into addiction, he had to work again. And so, honestly, I look back at how God provided over and over. I ended up meeting my now husband in that time, and remarried, and he had never been married, and honestly, it was the grace of God that He was put into our lives I didn't go looking for it, because my choice of men was not the best. So, but honestly, God brought this man into my life that literally, his last name is Turnus, and I said, God, that's so funny, because he brought this man in to turn us around. And it literally changed our whole trajectory. So, but, my daughters went through struggling with that, the abandonment and the grief, and one daughter was alcohol and drugs, one daughter went to eating. My oldest daughter, she had her first son at 16. He's 16 right now, and honestly, he's such a gift to our family. I'm so thankful for him. But that daughter had another son with another guy, and he actually got into addiction and was murdered on the streets of Tacoma while he was in addiction. And the guy that murdered him was a 3-time felon. And he served 1 month in prison because they let it go to jail. There was one addict against another addict, and honestly didn't care. My grandson's heart was broken. Nothing about his life. He lost somebody that we love, and I just hate addiction. I hate it. I hate it with a passion, because I feel like it's the devil's arsenal to just take out families, to just destroy families. And so I work on the streets of Seattle every week. I'm out there feeding the homeless, feeding the addicts, and trying to let them know that there's hope. And for me, it literally was that one touch from Jesus that literally was set me free. And it took a long time to work through the grief and the shame. And the shame I wore like a cloak. I don't feel like you can just, that you go through all of that trauma, and it's just hard to just take it off and step out of it. But honestly, when I actually finally figured out, like, Jesus paid the price for you to walk in that freedom. When he hung on that cross and he was nailed there and he was murdered and he shed his blood for you and me, he took all that sin, all that shame, and he nailed it there, and he said, you are free, you are set free from that. I don't have to hold on to it. And what was hard for me was not only I forgave my adopted brother, I forgave him, but it was harder for me to forgive myself. That was the hardest thing for me to do, was to forgive myself. And I'm thankful to be in the freedom of that today, that I don't carry that with me. I feel like I want my life to be a testimony of what God can do, what he has done. I'm thankful today that I have my 3 kids. My son is 45 now, and it's been, he knows who his dad is, and it's been a struggle with him. But I know, like, God has plans and purposes for his life. It doesn't matter how we're conceived, what we're conceived into. God can always work it together for his glory. And I'm so thankful for my son. I'm thankful I chose to have him. I ended up having 3 abortions, and that was even harder for me to forgive myself. I love my kids. I love my grandson. But it just, like, the enemy, it makes me so mad at the enemy too, because what he robs us of, not only ourselves, but our generations. And so whatever I can do to stomp on his head in this day and time, like, that's what I want to do. I have 4.5 beautiful grandkids, and I'm thankful that they're looking at me. I'm so thankful that there's not one day my kids or my grandkids have ever seen me under the influence of anybody, of anything, alcohol, drugs, sex, anything. Like, I'm straight and narrow, and not that I'm perfect, believe me, I'm not perfect at all, and I don't even want you to think that. I mean, life is a struggle. If I lived on an island by myself, I might get a little closer, but, when you're out, you've got stuff to deal with. You've got people to deal with, and it's not always easy. So I'm thankful. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I used to do drugs, but I've run 2 marathons, I've done 8 half marathons, I've played soccer. I have a business that I own. I have a hair salon in Seattle. I've had it for 35 years. I'm in college right now, getting my ministry. I ran for city council in my city, and I'm done. But God keeps rebuilding, restoring, in ways that I never even thought was even imaginable. And I'm just so thankful that he took the blinders off, and he removed the veil, and he gave me my identity. And my identity is as a daughter. And you're a daughter of the King. You're the daughter of the guy that owns the universe in his hand. And he sets that crown on your head. And it's available for all of you. You all have that in you. I mean, I look at you beautiful women. And I just look at the way the enemy comes, and he keeps hitting us, and he keeps hitting us. But when do you just step out of it, and you're just like, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm drawing the sign in the sand, and now it's me against you, devil. And I've taken this ground, and I've taken this chance, because that's for me and my family.